WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. I would not have thought that this was rare and exotic, but I haven't found any videos about this online in English before. So, Hart Brothers Blended Malt Scotch Whiskey, 17-year-old sherry finish. Yay! 50% ABV. Whiskey base number 45732. Now, actually, this has very, very similar colors to my YouTube video in English, or my YouTube channel, because the first video I ever did was the old granddad, and it was orange. And so you have orange here, you have orange down here. I'm not sure if the modern whiskey marketers would pick the orange color, but hey, who knows. All right, so what do we have here? We have a so-called blended malt. Blended malt means no grain whiskey. Blended malt means single malt from different distilleries taken together, blended, vatted, married, however you want to say, together, and then finished, in this case, in a first fill sherry butt. Now, what type of sherry is it? We don't know. How long was the sherry finish? We don't know. What type of distillate was used from the different single malt distilleries? We don't know. All we know is, which is good, that it's non-chilled filtered, that it's natural color, yay, that it's 50%, and over here in Germany it goes for a price for around between 50 and 54 euros, which is not bad for a 50% 17-year-old blended malt, or even a single malt for that matter. So the interesting thing is the very first mention of this whiskey was 2013 by Whiskey Base. I actually have a bottle here that was bottled in 2017, and I have here a port bottling, which was from them, also the sister basically. There's an 8-year-old, and there's a sherry, and there's a port at 17 each. This was bottled in 2020. So what we know is these are batches. Now the question that I cannot answer today is, are the batches identical? Is there flavor drift? Is there actually spot on? How big are the batches? We don't know. These are all the geeky type of things people want to know. Over here in Germany, I basically found 4 shops that carry these. This is something that's flying under the radar apparently. It used to be, this was actually a suggestion from one of my super fans, Patreon supporters, is to, hey Jason, take a look, you haven't tried these yet. And so I actually thought, why not? So I'm going to compare it. As you probably know from my whiskey videos so far, I love comparing whiskeys. Now the comparison is not the same, but it's actually something that I think is still a valuable comparison. And it's going to be a Glendronach. So why did I pick the 12 and not the 15? Well, I think the 12 is going to blow this out of the water anyways. I could have done the 15, which is here. I don't know if you can see it. There it is. So, I did the 12 in my, and I know why I'm not doing the 12, because the 12 is way too expensive. The 12 over here is almost 70 some euros, this is 50 euros, and this is 32 euros. So this is actually 20 euros cheaper than this, and so I think that's actually fair. 43%, 50%. Also there, the alcohol by volume is much less here. And also the age is much less. So lower ABV, lower price, lower age. This should not win. Take a guess who's going to win. All right, on the nose, what I get is a burst of very young sherry type of whiskey. I've had this taste or this smell a few times, especially with Irish whiskeys. You take a Cooley distillate, and you want to get rid of that bad taste at the end because of the old wood they were using, and you finish it with a fairly high quality cask. In this case, a sherry butt first fill. And that actually puts like a lollipop finish on top of it, but still down below there's a whole lot of stuff going on in there. And that's the feeling I get immediately when I nose this. I'm not getting much of a chocolate moment. Glendronach. Oh, chocolate. Chocolate covered strawberries, covered black cherries. Wonderful. Over here. Cranberries. A little bit even of cranberries and a little bit of currants. Yes, red currants, not even black currants. So what does it say on here? It says a soft sherry, sweet nose, Victoria plums, and damsons. Ooh. Over here, where I get the plums, by the way, it says sweet, creamy vanilla with hints of ginger and autumn fruits. Here I'm getting the dark plums. Here I'm actually getting more of a type of lighter currant cranberry moment. All right, cheers. Well, I'm trying to do this, which means it's more and more alcohol. So I get here, I'm going to start up over here. I actually get an explosion of alcohol towards the end. There's a guy over here in Germany, has his own whiskey store, Marco Bonn. He does the Dream of Scotland bottlings. Maybe you've seen some of those with those very fantastic labels that he creates himself. And what we have basically here, as he said, for the experienced whiskey drinker, the alcohol should not be a problem. I've done over 2,000 videos in German, and I have a problem with the alcohol. I think it's not as smooth, I don't like that word either, silky, round, and as refined as this whiskey could and should be after 17 years. Personal opinion. I've tried quite a few of the young whiskeys coming out on the market, 3, 5 years old. Some of them are actually fairly decent. But I've been really, really surprised at this 8 to 14-year-old range. You take good first fill cask, you put good, well cut new make into that, and you leave it set for 8 to 12, maybe even 14 years, and you're getting fantastic, and I mean literally fantastic whiskey sometimes. And this is not it. This is something that was like, this was a 16-year aged in reused hogsheads, and then actually tried to pimp my ride with a nice little sherry finish at the end. You do get the sherry towards the beginning, but really what's missing is in the end. I get the heat, and I get a little bit of the tannin, the wood, and very, very little of that sherry goodness. Going over to the Glendronach 12 in comparison, which is a full maturation in the sherry type of butts and hogsheads. Pedro Jimenez as well as Oloroso. What type of sherry, we don't know. Even on the palate, I'm getting a little bit of that chocolatiness. It might be the European oak that they're using. There's a tiny, tiny little bit of heat in there, but it's actually well done, bound together. You have a cohesion here. Here you have a little bit of a fight. You have the alcohol fighting the fruit, fighting the wood, fighting the spirit. It's just not perfectly bound together. This is, for me, actually one of the things that I can recommend for a beginner as well as for a mediocre or advanced drinker. Go back to the Glendronach 12. Try it. Compare it to other things, and you'll notice how much of a value for money it is. I don't know after the rebranding that Rachel Berry will do with Brown-Forman together if this whiskey will still be such a bargain in the future, but it is at the moment. 32, 34 euros is what I pay for it over here. Less than $40 for a 12-year-old. Fantastic, fantastic value for money. Buy, bunker, store, keep enough for the future because they will never be, I don't think they'll ever be as cheap as they are right now. Personal opinion. If adding water changes this, I might change my opinion as well. Now, this is not a bad whiskey. I'm complaining at first world problems, very high level here. This is actually, for me, a solid C whiskey. It's not an A, it's not a B, it's definitely not a D. It's a solid C whiskey, which is, in my book, hey, something you can buy if you want to. I was recommended this whiskey from one of my super fans. Am I sad that I bought this? No. I'm really looking forward to comparing it to the port in my next video and seeing which one of the two I like better. I think it's going to be port. Oh, I get a tiny little bit of sulfur here. The cask. Lactic acid. It doesn't on the nose get better with water, by the way. On the nose, it was better without water. All right, cheers. But it does, interesting enough, get a little bit better actually on the palate. That heat is dissipated. And I'm getting more of a melon type of moment, a cantaloupe, a honey melon. That's interesting. It says here I should get dark chocolate raisins and currants. Interesting. Hey. A nutty aftertaste with a hint of cream sherry. Maybe that might be a little bit of an indicator what type of casks were used here. And soft caramel and marshmallow. Not getting the marshmallow. Maybe that melony moment is that softness there. It's a good, okay whiskey. If you're looking for something for a good value for money with an age statement on it, 17 years old, this might be the place to go. I do not know if Hart actually delivers to the States, Australia, South Africa, or any other place you're watching this video at the moment. They are in Germany, they are in Europe, they are in the UK, and they are in England, Ireland as well, I think. So take a look for Hart Brothers. Take a look at the 17-year-old sherry. Take a look at the 17-year-old port. I will do a video on the port and tell you which one I prefer more. I hope it's the port because this is mediocre to average, normal at the best. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for subscribing. I gave this a C for value for money and a C also, and 10 den C plus in the taste region. So thank you very much for watching. Please like, please subscribe, please tell others, please share this video on any platforms you want. If it's Reddit or if it's any other place, that'd be great. Thank you very much for being such great fans. Question of the day is, question number 1, what other blended Scotch do you know of? I'm taking the Johnny Walker 15 green label away from you. Anything else out there? And also the second question is, what is your favorite sherry matured whiskey? It can be either finished or matured. Not that Glendronach 12 is my favorite, but this is one of the best values for money out there in my personal opinion. All the best. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon. WhiskyJason. Bye.